Welcome to Tobi Reboot. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell, and hit like to get all my latest content.
Hey, let's talk about something we all know way too well. That feeling of having these huge ambitions, these big dreams, but just struggling to turn them into action. Today, we are going to break down exactly how to overcome that inertia and finally get started on the things that really matter to you. I mean, we've all been there, right? You've got these incredible goals floating around in your head. You want to write a book, get in shape, learn an instrument. But when it's time to actually do the thing, you just don't. So why does that happen? What is really going on in our heads in that moment of hesitation? You know, there's actually a name for this feeling. It's called the ambition-action gap. It's that super frustrating space between the person you imagine you can be and, well, what you actually end up doing every day. And trust me, if you feel it, you are definitely not alone. This probably sounds a little too familiar, right? You tell yourself, okay, tomorrow I'll start. But when tomorrow comes, you find yourself just scrolling on your phone instead. And look, it's not because you don't care about your goals. It's because something really powerful is getting in the way. And this is the part that might just change everything for you. The reason it's so hard to start isn't some deep flaw in your character. It's not you. It's your brain. Our brains are literally hardwired to conserve energy, to avoid anything that feels big or overwhelming, and to seek out immediate comfort instead. So this brings us to this incredibly powerful reframe. That feeling that we so often label as laziness, it's not who you are as a person, it is a learned behavior. It's just a habit your brain has picked up to protect you from tasks that feel, well, kind of difficult. Let's really think about it. With this new definition, laziness is just the brain's go-to move, its default habit for dealing with a task that seems way too big. It's basically a protective mechanism, trying to steer you towards something easier and more familiar. And you know what's so cool about that? The implication. If being stuck is just a habit, well then it's something we can actively change. And this is where we get to shift from just understanding the problem to actually building the solution. All right, so how do we actually break this habit? Let's dive into our first strategy, and it is so simple but so powerful. You have to make it ridiculously small. See, big tasks feel scary to our brains, so we need to shrink them down until they're not intimidating anymore. Just think about it like this. The goal of writing a 200-page book? Yeah, that can feel completely paralyzing. But what about just writing one single sentence? Anyone can do that. The ambition to master the guitar is huge, but the action of practicing just one chord, that's totally achievable. It's kind of like climbing a mountain, you know? You don't just leap to the summit in one go. You focus on the single step right in front of you, and then the next one. These small, manageable actions are what build momentum, and over time, they lead to absolutely massive results. Now, building on that idea, our second strategy is all about creating routines. This is how we take willpower completely out of the equation so you can basically run on autopilot. See, here's why routines are so incredibly effective. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired. You just can't rely on it every single day to force yourself to make good decisions. Routines, on the other hand, they put your positive habits on autopilot. You just do them without even thinking about it. And check out these wonderfully simple examples. If you want to exercise, don't just wait for motivation to magically strike. Put your running shoes right by your bed. That tiny environmental cue makes the next step almost automatic. These are like little training wheels for your habits. And that brings us to our third and final strategy. This one is designed to absolutely destroy that initial friction of starting. It's called the 2-minute rule. The idea is so simple. Whatever the task is, you just promise yourself you will do it for only 2 minutes. That is it. You want to read more? Okay, just read one page. Want to clean your room? Fine, just put away one thing. The goal isn't to finish, the goal is just to start. Think of it like you're trying to push a giant ball down a hill. That first initial push takes the most energy, right? But once you get it moving, momentum takes over and it becomes so much easier to keep it going. The 2-minute rule is that first push. And this, right here, is the mindset that ties it all together. Perfection is the absolute enemy of progress. The goal isn't to do something perfectly. The goal is simply to begin. Okay, let's bring it all home now. When you combine these 3 strategies, making it small, building routines, and using that 2-minute rule, What you have is a complete toolkit to overcome that initial inertia and, well, start your fire. I absolutely love this analogy. Right now, your dream might feel like a tiny, flickering spark. But every small action you take, writing that one sentence, practicing that one chord, reading that one page, it's like adding a small piece of kindling to the fire. You just keep adding that fuel, and soon enough, you're going to have a roaring fire. So here it is. This is your action plan distilled into 3 simple steps. Number 1, break your big goals down into tiny, non-threatening tasks. 2, create simple routines that make starting feel automatic. And 3, whenever you feel stuck, just commit to 2 minutes. That's it. Look, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The perfect moment to start, it is never going to arrive. The conditions will never be just right. The only moment you have any control over is this one, right now. So I'll leave you with this final thought. You've got the tools, you've got the plan. The only question left is, what small spark are you going to light today?